Most traders think profitability starts when the money finally comes, when the account grows, when the losses stop, when they finally figure it out. But that's not actually where it begins. Profitability starts much earlier, in the way you think. Because long before traders become consistently profitable, their mindset changes first. That's the part nobody notices. The habits change, the reactions change, the emotional patterns change. And suddenly, they stop behaving like beginners. That's why some traders are getting closer to profitability, even before the results fully show it. And in this video, we're going to break down 7 signs you're finally thinking like a profitable trader. Not surface level motivation, real behavioral shifts that separate emotional traders from disciplined ones. Because if these signs are starting to appear in your trading, you're probably much closer than you think. Let's start with the first one. The first sign you're finally thinking like a profitable trader is that you stop caring about catching every move. This is a huge shift because beginners think opportunity is everywhere. Every chart looks tradable. Every move feels important. Every breakout feels urgent. So they chase. They force entries. They overtrade. They feel like they always need to be involved. But profitable traders think differently. They understand something most people learn the hard way. Most market movement is noise, not opportunity. And once that clicks, you stop feeling pressure to trade constantly. You become selective. You stop asking, how many trades can I take today? And you start asking, is this actually worth risking money on? That's maturity, because now you understand that trading is not about activity. It's about quality. And quality automatically reduces frequency. That's why profitable traders often take fewer trades than struggling traders. Not because they're lazy, because their standards are higher. And that patience leads directly into the second sign. You stop feeling emotional after every single trade. This one is massive because beginners attach meaning to every outcome. One win, they feel unstoppable. One loss, their confidence disappears. Their emotional state changes with every candle. And that creates instability. But profitable traders stop reacting like that. Not because they don't care, but because they understand probability. They know one trade means nothing by itself. So when they lose, they don't panic. And when they win, they don't become reckless. They stay neutral, calm, controlled. That emotional stability is one of the clearest signs your mindset is evolving, because now your focus is shifting away from outcomes and toward execution. And that leads perfectly into the next sign. You start caring more about following your rule than making money quickly. This is where traders begin separating themselves from the crowd, because beginners are obsessed with profits. How much can I make? How fast can I grow the account? How do I recover losses quickly? Everything becomes outcome-focused, but profitable traders become process-focused. They care about execution. Did I follow my setup? Did I manage risk correctly? Did I stay disciplined? Because they understand something most traders resist. Good process creates good results over time, not instantly, over time. That shift changes everything, because now you stop forcing trades for excitement. You stop trying to make something happen, and you start trusting consistency instead of urgency. Now here's where things get deeper, because the next sign is psychological. You become more comfortable doing nothing. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts in trading. Most traders hate sitting still. Silence feels uncomfortable. Waiting feels unproductive. So they create action. They enter mediocre setups. They lower standards. They trade out of boredom. But profitable traders stop needing constant stimulation. They can sit there, watch the market move, and do absolutely nothing. Without frustration. That's rare. Because doing nothing requires confidence. Confidence that another opportunity will come. Confidence that forcing trades is more dangerous than missing them. And once you develop that patience, your entire relationship with the market changes. You stop chasing. You stop reacting emotionally to movement. You let the market come to you. That's a professional mindset. But there's another shift that usually happens around the same time. You stop blaming the market for your mistakes. This is where real accountability begins, because struggling traders blame everything external. Manipulation, news, fake breakouts, market makers. There's always something else responsible. But profitable traders think differently. They review themselves first. Did I follow my plan? Did I force this trade? Was my risk too high? Did emotion affect my execution? That level of honesty is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Because the moment you stop blaming the market, you regain control over your improvement. Now you can actually fix things. Now you can identify patterns in your behavior. And that self-awareness becomes a massive advantage because trading success is not just technical, it's behavioral. And once you understand that, you stop trying to beat the market. You start trying to manage yourself inside the market. That's a completely different mindset. Now, here's where things get even more interesting, because the next sign is subtle, but incredibly powerful. You stop looking for certainty. Beginners desperately want certainty. They want confirmation, validation, guarantees. They want to feel sure before taking trades. But profitable traders eventually realize something important. Certainty does not exist in trading, only probability. And once you truly accept that, fear starts losing power over your decisions because now you understand a good trade can lose, a bad trade can win, and one outcome changes nothing long term. That understanding removes emotional pressure. Now you're no longer trying to predict every move perfectly. You're simply executing your edge over time. That's what professionals do. And once this mindset develops, trading starts feeling less emotional, less chaotic, less personal. But the final sign is the one that quietly ties all of this together, because it's the shift that usually happens right before traders become truly consistent. And once this starts happening, you're no longer thinking like a beginner at all. The seventh sign you're finally thinking like a profitable trader is that you stop trying to get rich quickly. This is the shift that quietly changes everything. Because beginners are always in a rush. They want fast results, fast recovery, fast account growth. Every trade feels important because they believe one big win can change everything, and that belief creates pressure. Pressure to trade more, pressure to force setups, pressure to recover losses quickly. That urgency destroys decision-making because rushed traders don't think clearly. They react emotionally, but profitable traders slow down, not physically, mentally. They stop treating trading like an escape plan and start treating it like a long-term skill. That's a massive difference because now they're no longer asking, how fast can I make money? And they're asking, how long can I stay consistent? That mindset shift is huge because consistency creates survival. And survival is what allows profitability to happen. Most traders never realize this. They think profitable traders became successful because they found the perfect strategy. But usually, they just stopped sabotaging themselves. They stopped forcing progress, stopped chasing excitement, stopped needing instant results. And once that happened, their performance stabilized. This is why profitable traders often look boring from the outside. They're calm, patient, controlled, no emotional swings, no revenge trading, no desperation, because they're no longer emotionally dependent on short-term outcomes. And that emotional independence is one of the strongest signs your mindset is evolving. Now, here's what's interesting. Most people think profitable trading is about learning more analysis, more indicators, more information. But that's usually not the real breakthrough. The real breakthrough is behavioral. You stop reacting impulsively. You stop needing constant action. You stop letting emotions control execution. And little by little, your trading becomes more structured, more intentional, more stable. That's when consistency starts becoming possible. But here's the important part. These mindset shifts usually happen before the money shows up consistently. That's why many traders quit too early. Because externally, it still looks like they're struggling. Maybe the account is still small. Maybe the profits are inconsistent. Maybe they still have losing weeks, but internally, everything is changing. Their reactions are changing. Their discipline is improving. Their emotional control is improving. And that matters more than most people realize. Because profitable trading is built from identity first, results second. You become the type of person capable of consistency. Before consistency fully appears in the numbers, that's why these signs matter so much. They show that your foundation is changing. And foundations matter more than temporary outcomes. Think about it. A beginner trader sees a loss and feels panic. A developing trader sees a loss and reviews execution. That's growth. A beginner trader sees the market moving and feels urgency. A developing trader sees movement and waits for quality. That's growth. A beginner trader wants excitement. A developing trader wants stability. That's growth. And those shifts are not small. They completely change the trajectory of your trading. Because trading success is not built on intensity. It's built on emotional stability repeated over time. Now here's something most traders never hear. The closer you get to profitability, the less dramatic trading becomes. That surprises people. Because social media teaches the opposite. Fast money, big wins, crazy profits, constant action. But real profitable trading usually feels slow, quiet, structured, and honestly, a little boring. Because profitable traders are not chasing stimulation. They're protecting consistency. That's why emotional highs and lows start disappearing. Wins feel normal, losses feel manageable, and trading stops controlling your mood every day. That emotional balance is a huge sign of progress, even if your account hasn't fully caught up yet. Because once your mindset stabilizes, your execution stabilizes. And once execution stabilizes, your results finally have a chance to stabilize too. That's the sequence most people miss. Mindset first, behavior second, results third. Not the other way around. Now let's step back for a second. Look at all 7 signs together. You stop chasing every move. You stop reacting emotionally to every trade. You focus more on process than quick money. You become comfortable waiting. You take responsibility for your mistakes. You stop looking for certainty. And you stop trying to get rich quickly. Notice the pattern? All of these shifts point to one thing: emotional maturity. That's the real edge, not intelligence, not prediction, not secret indicators, emotional control. Because the market punishes emotional behavior harder than almost anything else. Impatience, fear, greed, overconfidence, desperation. Those emotions destroy more traders than bad strategies ever will. And once you begin controlling those emotions, your entire trading experience changes. Now, here's the important part. This transformation is gradual, not dramatic. You usually don't wake up one day feeling like a completely different trader. The shifts happen quietly. You hesitate less, force fewer trades, recover emotionally faster, respect your rules more consistently. And over time, those small behavioral changes compound until eventually, you realize you're no longer thinking like the person who started trading. That's when real progress begins, not when you win one big trade, not when you double an account, but when your mindset finally becomes stable enough to handle the realities of the market. Because profitable traders are not perfect. They still lose, still make mistakes, still have difficult periods, but the difference is their mindset no longer collapses every time something goes wrong. And that emotional stability is what keeps them alive long enough for consistency to finally appear. That's the real transformation. And if these signs are starting to appear in your own trading, you're probably closer than you think.